Ready.
And on World Bee Day, don't forget to start them young. This is our grandson Charlie, and he's all dressed for the day, aren't you, Charlie? Well, I was not a beekeeper 5 or 6 years ago, but you can see behind me the green and the yellow hive. They're flow hives. Flow hives, an Australian invention by the Anderson family up on the north coast of New South Wales. Very innovative way of tapping honey and keeping bees, and for me, being keen to promote rural and regional Australia, obviously bees help in pollination of crops and very important in Australia and globally. This came out, Australian invention, innovative, great for our agriculture, and I said to my staff in Sydney, we're going to be beekeepers. And so 6 years ago, that started the journey. Look, they're fascinating insects. The way they work and their life cycle, and working on them is always so interesting to see what's happening in the hive and how strong they are and where they're collecting and so on. But there's a bigger picture, of course. So there's a personal satisfaction. But these insects are just so critical to the global economy, to our agriculture, to horticulture, to our whole food security. Relies on bees. In Australia alone, the bee industry is worth about $14 billion. That's significant. And if we don't keep bees healthy, we suffer as a consequence. And there are certain things you can do about keeping bees happy, healthy, and doing their business for us. Buy Australian honey. First of all, support the industry. You can plant bee-friendly gardens. That's really helpful in our backyards and bigger properties if you have them. And be supportive of foundations that might be working, like the Queen Bee Foundation that we're supporting. They invest in research about bees, how we can best look after them and how they can best sustain our agriculture. Very important in Australia at the present time as well, because in recent 5 or 6 months we've had the bushfires, which have totally devastated state forests in New South Wales, which is the main source of food, nectar, pollen for our bee population. And prior to that we had the drought, which made it extremely difficult for bees. So critical time in Australia to support them. Queen Bee Foundation's one way of doing that, but there are minor things, small things you can do in your own backyard to help out bees. Now, of course, my bees here are very loyal bees, and they have a saying which they echo every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear Australian friends, this year we will commemorate the 3rd World Bee Day. Slovenia, a country with a centuries-long beekeeping tradition, wanted to elevate the importance of the bees to the global level. Therefore, we proposed a special day dedicated to the bees to be commemorated worldwide. We are very happy to see that the idea to celebrate the importance of the bees has strongly gained ground in Australia. This was made possible thanks to the tireless efforts of the Australian beekeepers and the support of the Australian people. Let our joint journey to protect the bees continue indefinitely.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am the ambassador of Switzerland to Australia, and these are my bees on the roof of the Swiss residence in Canberra. If you support bees, you support nature, and you receive something substantial in return. I keep my bees in a so-called flow hive, an Australian invention. You just need to open a tap to get some honey out. Innovation is also needed to combat an existential threat to bees and to our civilization, climate change. If we want to give future generations a chance, particularly in a climate already dry and hot, we need to bring the sun into the grid and hydrogen into trucks and ships. Australia is in a perfect position to pull and push that innovation ahead as successfully as the flow hive. Good luck.
Welcome to the Embassy of Sweden Beehives. Sustainability is very important to us, and that is why we keep bees in our garden. Sustainability through bees. We are always very keen to talk about sustainability in all its dimensions. We're especially happy to talk about the Sustainability Development Goals, all 17 of them. This year we are celebrating the World Bee Day for the third year running, although this time around in a slightly different way. Thank you for your support. Do the waggle dance, and welcome to the embassy and our bees next year for continued discussion on biodiversity and sustainability.
We need plants.